one married to Jeremy.
4 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, that's a very important.
And there is nephew.
No, he was the one who lived back in that. Why not travel at the moon?
Okay, so I'm in the mode with providing a little bit of info. There's no real difference between a mestizo and a Creole. The reason why: one was spawned by a European that from Europe but a different part. So like for example, the mestizo was spawned by Spaniards, people from España. Then you got French Creole, spawned by the French. Then you have the Dutch, and the British, the Scottish, and the Irish. The mestizo are from the New World, from Latin America. And then the Creole are descendants from Africa. And also you have the Arawaks. You have to also factor in that you also had indentured servitude happening at the same time. Well, actually, indentured servitude start just before slavery. So this whole thing was kick-started by the Europeans, along with the Africans, and then the different tribes and people from Latin America. They both have superstitious beliefs, both mestizo and Creole. And mestizos claim to speak Spanish, right? Not entirely true. Same with the Creoles. So the Creole and the mestizo, it's a broken language. So if you look at what's happening in Latin America and you go to different Latin American countries, they claim that they speak Spanish, but they all speak it differently. It's not all the same because it's broken. It's a language or a dialect that was used amongst the new offspring to be able to communicate and speak in a language that their masters wouldn't comprehend. The same with Creole. Creole is a broken version of French, a broken version of English spoken by English descendants. Like the Haitians, they speak a broken version of French, and they also have the opportunity to speak proper French, just like how you have Creoles who speak proper English. They don't speak Ebonics. So the Ebonics is a North American thing. Let's use that terminology to brand the dialect that's spoken in Jamaica. It's Patois. In Belize, it's Creole. There's a little picado there. Those are popular in Belmopan. So that's a mechanic shop right there. It's really good. And when you look at, like, okay, a Creole, and if you're doing it from a vantage point of the pigmentation, then you're dead wrong. Because you see that young man there walking the pathway in the alley, you have Creoles that look like him, and you have mestizos that look like him. So you have to understand genetics at that point, because a Creole could be a descendant from a British, or it is a descendant from a British to a slave. And then you have the French, then you have the Dutch. So what if the different offspring meet, intermingle, and entwine and lock the lineage change? So you can have a Creole person that could have dark skin, and you could have a Creole person that has light skin. Same with the mestizos. This is based on the DNA and the genetics that have been handed down and passed down from different family members, because you also have mestizos who married into a Creole family, and then you got mestizos that don't mix and they stay the same, they stay within their parameters. So the whole idea is there's no idea. There's just your individual truth, your peace, your bliss, your zen, your joy, your happiness, your state of failures and life lessons learned along the way. I like to ponder and reflect on history so that your individual history, my individual history, so that I can get a better grasp, a better standing point of where I'm from, so that when I build I can build my spiritual, physical, and emotional self up, knowing who I am and where I have come from and what those who came before me have contributed to my life. Because the beauty about this life is how can you impact, how can you influence others on their journey. Remember, this is about learning lessons. To sharpen a machete, you need to take a file, and a file is just another form of steel. So it's two different types of steel that they're rubbing against each other to create friction, so that you can turn a blunt edge into a razor sharp edge. So that's what it is with humans. We're supposed to sharpen each other. I think it's safe to say that Creole, Mestizo, and that stuff was coined to create separation and division. To use one race, one identity, and one culture to impose classism. Try this. Read that with your eyes and not your mouth. Read that with your eyes and not your mouth. Because it's like, imagine there's two fleas on the dog fighting over who owns the dog. This happens every year. They slash and burn and poison themselves with carbon dioxide and whatever other heavy toxins they're gonna toss in those things, in the flames. There's a saying, you can keep on doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That different result will never come until you embrace change and you change your thinking and look for solutions and plan for a better future.